up, y'all? It's me, Erica, and we are down here. Peace, y'all. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica Honey, and we are down here to talk about... I thought I was down here to talk about love and marriage, Huntsville. Yeah, I am down here to talk about love and marriage, Huntsville. I have my notes here. This is not going to be a long video. I felt like episode 2 was pretty good. I felt like, yeah, Letitia, you said call you dumb Tisha. I think we're going to be good on calling you dumb Tisha because this is just the first thing I'm thinking about. Go ahead and like, subscribe, comment, and let me know you stop by. The first thing off the top of my head, IG. So I don't know how this woman, this naked picture of this woman that Marshawn had in his phone, and he couldn't explain how he got a midday surprise. The features that Tisha was talking about were not available 14 years ago. Oh, shit. Hold on. Okay, that was 2022. So in 2008, the features that you're saying that he double tapped on an image, that wasn't available. That wasn't in the technology. So you're lying, right? So I think it's time for us to just leave Tisha and Marshawn alone. She's going to stick beside him. She said, I'll just be dumb Tisha. She does her investigative reporting and certain research. You know, I said to somebody the other day, Black women need to create private investigative firms because we can find some shit out, right? Apparently, Tisha saw this picture, found this picture in Marceau's phone, and she says she did her investigating and nothing came of it. A midday surprise. I honestly feel that Marshawn pays for escorts, and in that pays for confidentiality and privacy. I do not believe that he is messing with random women or women who want to be on TV like Slow Slaw. I feel like he is messing with professional women when it comes to that. And that's why you'll never hear anything about it. I think for any man who is, or any person who decides to step out on their marriage, I think the safest route, now I'm not giving you tips on cheating, but the safest route is to hire a professional escort for these services, so that and you pay for their silence. That's why you're paying them. So I feel that that's what's happening. Maybe he has one or two that he frequents, but I don't see, nobody has came out, nobody has ever said anything. There was something that it was Melody's hairdresser. I don't know. So I've heard that like several times around the blogs and stuff like that, but that's it. So the technology that Tisha is talking about wasn't even in the system. It wasn't available to anybody 14 years ago. The way that Kiki responded when she said it was 14 years ago lets me know that she's lying. And the fact that she is lying, right? She's not telling the truth. That means that there is some insecurity there, but she's not going nowhere with them 4 kids. She's not. So cheat back Tisha, right? Because I still don't understand. I hope that Carlos, but maybe Carlos is not speaking about things that they talk about on their lives, even though social media is a character on this show. But I don't I want Carlos to ask Tisha, what is cheat back Tisha? What does that mean? Marceau has this thing with the viewers that he likes to play games. You see, they say he jokes a lot. He likes to play games. He likes to be sarcastic. He likes to believe that he's getting over on people. But there's millions of people watching you. You're not going to get over on everybody. People who move like your wife, and she kept telling Carlos, I'm not the one. You got, like, you don't know me. I'm not that girl y'all think I am. She's probably a little hellraiser. That's Wanda's offspring, so she probably ain't too far off from her mama. And then, did you hear Melody correcting Letitia? She said something about what something do, and she was like, does. Like, girl, not correcting her English. Kiki comes out. They start talking about her addiction. I do believe that Marshawn was joking when he mentioned Kiki's addiction, even though he may have been there for her and picked her up off the corner. I don't know, the way they make it sound like they had to go get her out of a trap house or something like that. But um, I do believe that when he was talking to Mel and Martell, that he made a joke like, hide your prescription pills, because I don't believe it, they came to came to them in a concerning matter. Now Martell says he honestly doesn't remember. He said, I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember. I believed that he didn't remember. But you never know, because bros before hoes, right? So I'm gonna just say I don't remember. That way I don't have to knock you under the bus. But these women, they can knock each other under the bus. You see, next week Letitia tells Melody that she's the devil in sheep's clothing. As I put, IG 14 years ago, the technology she's talking about wasn't there. And I don't know how Facebook works, so I don't know what platform. I haven't been on Facebook in years. So I'm not sure I'm in that capacity, socializing and stuff like that. I haven't been on there in years. So I don't know what the technology is now and how it looks or whatever. But what Tisha was talking about hadn't been invented yet. So I was like, "Bitch, stop lying. So stupid." Um, Kiki and Wanda, they kind of get into it. They kind of go into family business, right? Because she said something about your niece. But here's the thing. I felt like Kiki couldn't get out what she really wanted to say to Wanda, in terms of, you were talking about, why would you talk about your cousin to other people? But you talk about your daughter, you talk about her, you talk about her husband. I mean, I guess, well, I'm her mother. I guess that's the big joker. I'm her mother, right? So I don't know. But Mel never takes accountability. Mel is sitting over there quiet. I think that was so intentional. I think that was really good, because it actually set her back away from the rest of the cast and allowed them to showcase whatever they have going on. I appreciated that, because I'm with Mel. Get a storyline outside of Mel. Tisha said, get a storyline outside of us, because you keep talking about us. Now, get a new storyline. So we talked about that. Wanda and Mel, right? Kids are off limits. We discussed that. Anything having to do with the kid, address the parent. You don't need to address the kid. We had an issue with Tiffany. We had, coming in talking about Monster. We had the issue with Wanda talking about the grade of the girl's hair. And then this other comment about baby daddy. Now, I remember on my review when I said that Melody could have used something else to come at Wanda, because she, in fact, flipped what Wanda was talking about and made it seem like she was talking about her children, and she wasn't. The same way on Real Housewives of Potomac, and we're going to talk about that, Karen did Charisse. Charisse was not talking about Karen's mother. She talked about being supportive of her, right? And going to the funeral, but she harped on, you were talking about my mother, in order to deflect, right? So in order to have a problem with Wanda, Melody could have chose a host of other things than what she decided to be mad about. That was the final straw, because she wasn't talking about the children. She was talking about the baby daddy. She wasn't talking about the paternity. Now, from what I understand, Martell on Dr. Heavenly's show was talking about the paternity. He was actually talking about the pregnancy that Melody terminated. He was talking about the paternity of that pregnancy. So when Wanda came back and said, well, you ask her baby daddy. Well, who's her baby daddy? Ask Tisha, that's her father, or some she said, or ask some she said. So Wanda comes back and said, well, bitch, who's your baby daddy? I'm not talking about your children. I'm talking about first you, bitch, and your question and your character, right? I'm talking about you. I'm not talking about your baby. I completely agree with Wanda, and I completely disagree with Melody, because Melody, she was not talking about Sugar Mama. She was not talking about the paternity of Sugar Mama. She was talking about, now Wanda must have misunderstood what Martell was talking about on Dr. Heavenly's show. But when you come after me saying on the nightcap, you come after me saying something about my baby daddy, well, bitch, who's your baby daddy? Who is it? So I wasn't talking about the baby. I was talking about who's the baby daddy. That's what I'm talking about. And questioning your character too. And lending into this idea that you cheated on Martell as well. Right? So that was out of the window. They acted like Carlos seemed like he was really concerned at the way that they responded to that. No one was responding because they kept saying she was wrong, but, right? And he was like, I'm concerned that, you guys are not like really understanding what we're talking about. For me, I would have been like, I'm not understanding what you're talking about, because it wasn't nobody talking about Sugar Mama. We're talking about her and him. Find out who your baby daddy is. I'm not questioning the paternity of your baby, but find out who your baby daddy is, bitch, since you want to talk about my baby daddy. And that's how that went. And I'm sorry. That's how I feel. I feel like so many people do that. They do that when they start, when people are talking about people's parenting and they don't talk about my kids. Don't talk about my kids. No, we're not talking about your children. We're talking about your parenting, and the way that you deflect from your parenting is to get angry about somebody talking about your kids. We're not talking about your children. We're talking about how you parent. I'm not talking about your children. I'm talking about your choice in baby daddy. Find out who your motherfucking baby daddy is, bitch. That doesn't have anything to do with Sugar Mama. But you flipped it and you pulled that card. And I said on my review, you could have pulled a card, plenty of card. Pulling that card was not a strong one for me. That was not the big joker for me. I felt like you could have even talked about her being online, talking about the children's hair, just a host of other things, but trying to flip it around and saying you're talking about my children again. Hang it up, Mel. Hang it up, Mel. Kids are off limits. Melody never takes accountability. I don't know what they want her to take accountability for in that way. Mel talks shit. Everybody talks shit. I do not care for the way that it's almost as though they have to include her. Like they have to include Melody. Like when Melody said, it's time for you guys to get your own storyline. Martell has said the same thing. It's time for y'all. I think he said that at the last reunion. It's time for y'all to talk about what's going on in your lives. Leave us out of it, right? But what Mel and Tisha, they have a problem, right? There's a problem there. I feel like it's been a problem from the beginning. I always looked at Tisha and thought that she kind of looked up to the strength, the confidence, just how Melody was just very confident, just the way she walked in the room, just all of that. I felt like Tisha didn't have that, and I felt like she envied that of Melody, instead of using that envy to like fuel. And I think maybe she did use it to fuel, because she looks like she's coming into her own, right? She's dressing different, her hair's different, I don't know if she's got work done, but her body looks a little different from previous years. So I don't know, people get a little change, get a little pocket change, and start making some adjustments and enhancements, and that's fine. But I believe Melody was an inspiration. Um, could have been an inspiration, but Tisha decides to envy her instead of be inspired by her. That's how I feel. Um, so I don't know what they want Mel to take accountability for. I feel, um, I, I, I don't know if we need Mel to say I don't like Tisha, but it's clear that she doesn't like her. They don't like each other. So Stormy, she comes in. The viewers talked about Stormy being ratchet. This is not love and marriage Huntsville, or this is more like love and hip hop. We've been calling it love and hip hop Huntsville for forever. So yeah, but I don't think Stormy had anything to do with that. And I do agree with Carlos. Just because you're from the South and you speak with an accent doesn't mean that you're dumb. You're an entrepreneur. You fit the basic DNA of the show, is what Carlos said. And I really like your addition to the show. She said she works hard. And she code switches. I'm sure she does. A lot of people have to do that. We all do it. A lot of people, black people, do it. We all do it. Um, we do it for safety. We do it for survival. We do it to advance. Um, but I think we are getting to a point where, in terms of entrepreneurs, they don't have to do all of that anymore, because you have your own. You don't have to perform in order to feel safe in the environment, because you might lose a job, or somebody might say something to you, or you could be targeted or whatever. When you have your own, you really don't have to put on all those airs. Um, and so I think it's unfair that people thought that Stormy was ratchet and wretched and all this other stuff, whatever they were saying. Ratchet. Um, and so, yeah, she's an entrepreneur. So Destiny, they get on Destiny, and Stormy, they said it was an isolated incident. They're cool now. Um, you know, they talked about Destiny never sharing. One thing I do notice about Destiny, she gets an attitude very quickly. It's so, like Kiki said, you heard Kiki say it was unbecoming. It's uncouth. It's unbecoming. Did you say where she was going back and forth with Wanda? Destiny's been very difficult. She's been difficult with the producers. They asked Stormy, does she think Destiny is aggressive? She says, well, if I think she's aggressive, that means I'm aggressive. I don't think she's aggressive. I think she has an attitude problem. I do. I do. I think she has an attitude problem. I haven't said that in a long time. She has an attitude problem, and I believe that she doesn't share. I don't believe that she's good for the show. Kimmy said the same thing. I've said it to her on camera, off camera, to her face, that this might not be the platform for you, since you don't want to share, and you get an attitude when people ask you to share. Um, when she said that she was in love with this guy Moses, did you see Stormy's face and the sound that they played when they were like, she was like, that wasn't very exciting. But yeah, I don't think that Destiny's contract should be renegotiated. I think she can come on as a friend. I think she should be taken out of the intro, as well as Tiffany and Lewis. Where are they? Are they going to be on the third part? Like, what the hell? They're in the intro with them ill-fitted suits and dresses. Child, get them out of here too. It's a mess. So Destiny doesn't share. She doesn't share. She's not forthright, and then she gets an attitude when you ask her to share. She got an attitude sitting on the stage. She started arguing with Kimmy, but Kimmy was telling the truth, and she said said it to her. I've said it to her. This is a reality show. How are you not sharing? Now with LeBaric, she can't share. I guess he put a gag order on her about their relationship. Motherfucker, I would get off the show and start a YouTube channel and start telling my story so we can get the real story about LeBeric. Like, you can always do that. He don't want you to talk about him on the show. Bitch, I'm on Instagram and I'm talking about what happened between me and LeBeric. Fuck that. Covering for that. I don't, girl, y'all better than me. Y'all better than me. I don't, I would figure out a way, because he's not going to get to, unless, we don't know. I have a feeling that there was a lot, like the way that, period, I said it before, the way that Destiny shows up, she showed up the same way in her relationship. The quick attitudes, the not being able to communicate, not being able to communicate clearly. I believe she exhibited that in her relationship. I believe he is probably one of these niggas who want to live in a fantasy world where he's the head of the household and she does what he tells her to do. And remember, she didn't even want to take his last name because her last name was really important. He was like, I want to, what the fuck is your last name? What is it? Where's the equity in your last name, nigga? Shut the fuck up. You just want somebody to take your last name. No, somebody take your last name. So I have a feeling that Destiny showed up the way that she shows up on this show in her marriage. If I was Destiny, I would create a channel or something and tell the story so people could see. But maybe she's just not a sharer. She doesn't want to share it. She'll share it when she wants to. But I wouldn't be protecting no motherfucking man like that at all. At all. Because didn't he file for a divorce? I think he filed for a divorce. You have been difficult with producers. It's hard to get stuff out of you. And I said, Destiny, immediate attitude. She started getting an attitude with Kimmy. And I think somebody was like, don't get an attitude with Kimmy. She's just saying what she's observing. It's like, what are you getting an attitude for? It's crazy. Anyways, y'all let me know what y'all think of the episode. I don't really have much to say. We'll see what's going to happen with Marceau and Tisha. Like I said, there's nothing left to say. And it's just like, and it's going to be interesting to see what they're going to come up with on the next season. I really believe that Marshawn and Tisha should focus on how they work together. I would like to see their working relationship. With Melody, I guess we can continue to show her endeavors. Martell, maybe we could see Martell dating, right? I don't like the fact that Martell is on Real Housewives. I think he's filmed with Sheree, but we can show Martell dating. I think that would be cool. And then like with Kimmy and Mighty Mouse, if you honestly like the story with Monster coming to live, that's played out in old. Kimmy's diagnosis could be a focus, but I don't think she probably wants that to be a focus. I don't know what Kimmy and Mighty Mouse can talk about. Maybe their real estate endeavors. Maybe now is the time that they can get back to what the show was originally supposed to be about, is them working, right? And what they're doing, and then showing bits and pieces of their personal lives. I think Martell and Melody's story coming out like that, and Martell cheating, has been the topic of the show for the entire time. So I do think it's time for them to focus on the other cast members. Tiff and Lou, they can be friends. They can come on couples trips. I don't think that they should have their contract renegotiated either. And I think Courtney and Stormy should come on the show because they got the shit on lock. Like, I love the way that whole thing looks. Anyways, take care of each other. Protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Peace.